Howdy y'all, it's Canadian Redneck here, and today I have the story of why I had 6 police officers show up at my trailer, and they all had machine guns pointed at me, plus the one cop or the one canine officer, I guess, that had the dog ready to sick me. And so, the farmhouse is about half a kilometer, or about half a mile, I don't know, away from the back road that I have to turn onto to get to where I have my trailer parked right now. And so, I was going a bit fast. I don't know. I wanted to, like, my truck. It's just got a little 3.7 V6 in it, so it's a piece of shit. And I just wanted to see how fast I could get going because it is not a fast truck at all. And so I got up to what my speedometer said was 90. Apparently, I was going a lot faster than that though. But anyways, I did see a black Charger coming like the other direction. But I mean, I didn't really think much of it, and I wasn't going that fast. I figured even if it was an unmarked cop car, they wouldn't really care because people usually go 100 kilometers an hour down that road. So I wasn't really thinking much of it, and I was right at my turn. So I made my turn onto this back road, and well, I guess this would be considered a side road, but nobody can really go that fast down that road. Like, I go down that road nearly every day, and I can still only go maybe 80. I can maybe get going 90 if I really wanted to, but I've never really gone over 80. Um, so, and that's only because I drive down that road every day, because it's got so many holes and divots, and some of them are, I don't know, just about a foot deep. So you got to be careful, or you got to know where you're going. Otherwise, you can't go that fast. And so, I mean, I made my turn, and I got going up to the speed limit just about, which is 80. I was only going probably 70, 75. But, yeah, so I was going down that road, and I've got mutters on the back of my truck, and so they kick up a lot of dust, so I couldn't see anything behind me. And apparently this cop, or there was a cop in that Charger, and apparently he tried to pull me over, but I never heard any sirens. I never saw any lights. I don't know if he put his lights on, but he definitely didn't put his siren on because I didn't hear shit. And I had my windows down and my radio off. So he definitely didn't have his siren on. He might have put his lights on. I really couldn't tell you. I didn't see any, but like I said, it was an unmarked car. So in those, I think they only have lights on the dashboard. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Because like I said, I've never seen them. And I've actually never been pulled over, even though apparently a cop did try. And so I took off down on the side road there. And I don't know, I got back to my trailer. I didn't think anything of it. I was just relaxing and everything. And then this is probably 20 minutes afterwards, after I got back, I heard movement outside. And this is private property, so nobody's supposed to be on here. And so I went outside right away in just my boxers. I had nothing on because it was really hot that day. And I don't have air conditioning or anything, so I was just chilling in my boxers, right? And I figured if there's somebody trespassing, though, this isn't the first time I've actually gone out to check on trespassers in my boxers. This has happened a couple times now. But this is the first time that I stepped out my door and I had 6 guns pointed straight at me. Six machine guns pointed at me, and a dog sitting there, like, or standing there, like, ready to come at me. And as soon, like, I stepped out, and they kept holding the guns on me. And, like, I said, like, guys, put the guns down. Like, I put my hands up immediately because, I mean, what else are you going to do when you have 6 guns pointed at you, right? I mean, even if it was just one, I would have well, they didn't even have to have guns. If it was the cops, like, I'm not going to try and fuck around with them. I know they've got guns. So, I don't know, that was unnecessary, but, excuse me. But, yeah, so I put my hands up, and I said, like, guys, put the guns down. Like, I'm in my boxers. I clearly don't have anything on me. Well, I kept my hands up the whole time, but I said, like, guys, I'm in my boxers. I clearly don't have anything on me. But they kept them up, and they're just like, turn around and lay on the ground and put your hands behind your back. So I listened to them. I turned around. I turned around, laid on the ground, and put my hands behind my back. And they came over, and they cuffed me, and they stood me up and whatnot. And so I had to ask them to go in and grab some jeans for me at least, so I at least wasn't fucking naked pretty well. And the funny thing was, though, so, like, I was struggling to get them on. Obviously, they kind of helped me a bit there. Like, they helped me put them on a bit. But since I was in cuffs, obviously, and with my hands behind my back, I was like, I've got long arms. Like, My arm span is 6'2", and I'm only like 5'9". Your arm span is supposed to be the same as your height, so I have really long arms. So I was able to reach around still, even with the cuffs on, and kind of try and do them up a bit. But it was tricky, and it was funny because I was about to ask the cop, I'm like, hey, can you help? And I'm like, oh, never mind, actually. He's like, what? Oh, I was going to help you ask me, or I was going to ask you to help me do up my pants. And I'm like, but I said I thought better of it. And he's like, yeah, that's getting kind of personal. That cop was actually really cool. The one that actually cuffed me and whatnot, he was cool. He was very, like, understanding about the whole thing. But, I had to ask him, like, guys, what is this for? Because I really didn't know. Like, I had no idea what that was about. I didn't know if they thought I was somebody else, or like I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And so they told me that I had outrun the cops, and immediately I knew what had happened. Or like they told me I evaded police, right? And so I knew what they were talking about, even though I didn't know the cop was trying to pull me over. I knew what they were talking about. And so I obviously wasn't just going to say, oh yeah, that was me. I decided to try and tell them that I had lent my truck to a buddy to move furniture or something like that. And they called bullshit immediately, because the cop that actually apparently tried to pull me over, which I still say he didn't put a siren on or anything, and I don't think he actually tried to pull me over. I think as soon as I made the turn, he just decided to call in a bunch of people. But I don't really know what happened there. I've got court next month, so I'll let you guys know what happens then. And hopefully I don't get my license suspended, which, I mean, I shouldn't, because I didn't know. But yeah, so I was, they picked me up off the ground, obviously. I got my jeans on and shit, and then we had to walk back to the cars, and there was actually 8 cop cars back there, but a couple of them stayed there, I guess, in case I tried to run from 6 cops with guns pointed at me. I don't know what they were thinking there, but yeah, so they threw me in the back of the cruiser, and I figured for sure I was going to get taken in, and my truck was going to get impounded or whatnot. But they were talking to me, and I stuck to that story for a while, that it was a buddy. But the cop that tried to pull me over, apparently, he said that he could recognize me and like identify me and whatnot, because I mean, long hair, like I'm not hard to identify. Plus, at the time, I was wearing a bright orange muscle shirt, so I was quite easy to identify. So I mean, I couldn't really say much about that. And then I told him, like, look, get me out of this cruiser, let me actually talk to you face to face, and I'll level with you. And so I told him, like, look, I didn't know you were trying to pull me over. I was just going down the road. And then he actually ended up complimenting my driving, which is kind of funny. I didn't really know what to say, so I just said thanks. But, like, that's just my normal driving down that, well, not on the main road. I don't generally speed, but that was my normal driving down the back road, which I'm assuming is what he complimented, since I'm assuming that once he tried to follow me down that road, which he claims he did, I don't know, I couldn't see behind me, like I said. So I'm assuming he saw all the potholes and whatnot. And, I don't even know how he could know how fast I was going down the road or anything, which I was only going probably about 70. So it wasn't like outrageously fast, but for that road, that is quite fast, even though the speed limit's 80. Yeah, you don't go that fast, really. But yeah, apparently I was going 111 kilometers an hour down the main road, though. So I'm fairly certain that the cop's radar gun was just out of whack, or whatever you want to say, because I forget how often the cops are supposed to calibrate the radar guns, but they don't do it near as often as they're supposed to, which is actually a good tip for getting out of speeding tickets. I don't know why I know that, because I've never even been pulled over, but yeah, most of the times cops don't calibrate their radar guns as often as they should, and so that can possibly get you out of a speeding ticket sometimes. But yeah, so that's pretty well it. They ended up letting me go after that. They didn't do anything with my truck or anything. I have to go to court in pretty well a month exactly, actually. So yeah, I've got to go to court for that. And yeah, I don't know, that's about it. But moral of the story is, if you ever even think that a cop might want to pull you over, just stop for a second and make sure, because fuck that. I mean, fuck, now every time I even hear a dog bark, I'm I get it through my head like, oh shit, are the cops coming or something? Which, it's just for a brief second, because I mean, obviously I've got no reason for the cops to come here, but I mean, just, fuck, it's pretty well traumatized me, goddamn, like I consider myself a fairly tough guy, even though I'm small, but like, when you step out your door and you have 6 fucking machine guns pointed right at you, all of them with their fingers on the triggers, and there's a police dog there ready to jump at you, that's pretty fucking scary no matter who you are. Like, I was completely unarmed. I was in my boxers. So, I mean, I'm just glad that I didn't go out with my crossbow, because I've done that once before with trespassers. I don't like trespassers. If I would have went out with my crossbow, fuck, they probably would have shot me. I could have been dead. But luckily, I heard them, and usually I can hear them coming, like, trespassers. I mean, not cops, obviously. That's only happened once. Well, technically, this is the second time I've been arrested, but the first time, well, it wasn't really getting arrested. That's a different story, though. But usually, if people are trespassing, they're on, like, a dirt bike or a four-wheeler or something like that, so you can hear them coming. So I have time to go over and... yeah, fuck, I'll show you in another video. But I can go and grab my crossbow, and I can load it and whatnot, and I can go out there and really scare the shit out of people. Obviously, I'm not going to shoot anybody, but, I mean, if I was in the States, I would, but fucking Canada, if you shoot somebody, you're fucked. So, obviously, I'm not going to shoot anybody here, but it at least scares the shit out of them and makes sure they know you're talking business. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say, so I guess that's the end of the video. So, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll tell the story about my first arrest at some point. It's not really a great story, but I'll tell it eventually. So yeah, I got plenty more stories though to go, so make sure you subscribe or whatever the fuck, and yeah.